The woman burned down her house with a fire. The flames converged into a golden light, piercing through the darkness of the night, and guided the way for the lost fishing boats at sea. This is not a peaceful village by the sea. Sea monsters often appear at the bottom of the sea. The sea creatures can't stand sea monsters. They have chosen to move their families to other islands. At first, the villagers didn't notice anything strange. Until later, fishing boats disappeared one after another. One after another, bad news happened. The story of the sea monster was spread by the villagers. If you go fishing, you won't survive. This became a stereotype in the villagers' minds, until the birth of a little doll brought hope to the lost seafarers to go fishing. On the day of the baby's birth, a jellyfish spirit sneaked into the village. It slipped through the doorway into the delivery room. It was about to launch its stinger at the baby. Suddenly, a golden light shot through the roof and into the sky. The people of the village were shocked. It's a sign of good fortune for this family. There must be a nobleman born. What happened next? Their beliefs were soon confirmed. The baby grabbed the jellyfish's tentacles and spun them around. The force is so great that the jellyfish can't move. It can only be manipulated. Eventually, the jellyfish can't take it anymore. It can't stand it any longer, so it opens the window and escaped. Afterwards, the nurse brought the baby to her birth mother and asked her to give her a name. The mother said, "He hasn't cried since he was born. Let's call him Emon. This baby became the goddess Ama, the guardian of the sea. Although she's a girl, but she's a boy. She often plays with her brothers on the beach. Maybe it's the genes of the beach people. At only 6 years old, she already has good water skills. She could row a boat and surf. Every time, she won a rowing competition. But the sea hides the uncertainty of the unknown. The raft is washed by the waves. The raft soon broke apart. Monique and her brother fell into the sea. Luckily, they were good swimmers. Soon they were able to survive. They made it to the shore. This is an isolated island. The people of the village, in order to have some fun, they set up a lantern festival. On this day, the villagers end their busy day. They went out to enjoy the lanterns in the moonlight. The streets are full of lanterns. The streets are filled with lanterns of all kinds. Emon Yang's family went out to enjoy the lanterns, but she didn't know. Two monsters are already after her. Emon Yang ran to a beggar. She gave him a coin and a bun out of kindness, and that was the beginning of her journey to the immortal sect. Became the beginning of her journey to the immortal sect. Emon Yang traveled back and forth in the crowd. She soon lost contact with her family. She lost her way and entered the temple of the goddess of mercy. Emon Yang put down her lanterns. She knelt down in front of the goddess of mercy. She wished for the safety and health of the villagers, and that every time they go out to sea, they'll come back safely. She made the goddess of mercy appear. An elixir flew up to Emon Yang. This is a gift from goddess of mercy. The goddess of mercy said, she's one of her maids. She was sent here to save the people by the sea. She'll be a god once she's cultivated. In order to help Emon Yang practice her magic, Guanyin sent Xian Tong to stay with her. Then she disappeared. This Xian Tong is the beggar that Emon Yang just gave to her. Emon Yang was shocked. Then her family came here. Xian Tong told her family about this, and gave Emon Yang a jade pendant for cultivation. By the next day, her family sent her to the immortal mountain for training. Halfway there, all the trees in the forest fell to the ground. In the middle of it there was a long road. Emon Yang was so scared that she kept running forward. Eventually, two giant monsters appeared in front of her. They asked Emon Yang to marry them. Emon Yang had never seen such a scene before. She fainted in fear. One of the monsters was about to take her away. The jade pendant on her chest suddenly flashed. The spirit also splashed out from his body. The two monsters saw that they were no match. They fled the scene as fast as they could, but it was too late. Emon Yang's magic weapon was already coming from behind. She tied them up tightly. The two huge monsters have turned into dolls. They became Emon Yang's disciples. After that, clairvoyance and wind ear followed Emon Yang's training. Master Xian Tong taught Emon Yang the aqua curse. When they realized the true meaning, they can control the seawater. 1,000 Miles and Wind Ear were there to protect Emon Yang. They helped her to practice the aqua mantra, but she was just in the middle of her training. She sensed that someone was shipwrecked at sea. When she arrived, the fish monster had already swallowed several fishermen. Emon Yang jumped up from the raft, but with the monster's powerful tentacles, Emon Yang didn't seem to be a match for it. Luckily, clairvoyant was there in time. I was able to capture the fish spirit in my pocket. Emon Yang knew that her training was not enough. She went back to the mountain to practice hard. After a month of training, she had already achieved some success. She could control the water flow at will. For this reason, she asked her master to get rid of the demons, to protect the fishermen.